Welcome to the video lecture on microcontroller and embedded systems lab. So we'll discuss the program number 2. The program is write a program to find the sum of first 10 numbers. That is, we have to write a program to add the first 10 integer numbers starting from 1, like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 etc. up to 10. The sum comes to be 55 in decimal. It is equal to 37 in hexadecimal, and it is displayed as 00000037 in 32-bit format, because the ARM processor is a 32-bit processor. Every number is represented using 32-bit data, because the word length of ARM processor is 32-bit. So this is a program here. See, here there are two things here. There are some of them are assembler directive, and some of them are instructions, and some of them are labels. Here all these written in the red are assembler directives. For assembler directives, there are no assembly code is generated. They will only help the assembler during the assembly process. Here, area is an assembler directive. It instructs the assembler to assemble a new code or data. In this case, there are two parts. From first part, it is code part. Starting from here till this point, it is code part. And second part, we can see here, from here to here, it is data part. Code part, this code assembler directive indicates that this is a code part. And read only assembler directive indicate that this part is read only. Here code and read only are the two attributes for area. Sum is the name given to this code area. So sum is a name given by the user. Entry is an assembler directive. It says that executable instruction starts from here. Start is an assembler directive. It indicates the start of the file. So now let us see the instructions which are used here. Here R5 is used as counter. R5 is used as counter. Its value is 10. So an immediate value 10 is copied into R5. Why it is 10 here? Because there are 10 integers to be added. First 10 integers to be added. So therefore R5 value is equal to 10. R0 holds the partial sum, or at the end it will store the sum. Initial value of R0 is 0. R1 holds the integer numbers one by one. Initially, the first number, that is 1, is loaded into R1. Add R0, R0, R1 instruction will add the content of R0 with the R1, and result is stored in R0. What is there in R0? Here R0 has 0, R1 has 1. So 0 plus 1, 1 is stored in R0. That is the partial sum. Then increment the next integer. Update the next integer. So R1 is added with 1. So now R1 becomes 2. R1 becomes 2 here. Decrement the counter. That is R5 minus 1. The immediate data is subtracted from R5. So R5 minus 1, and R5 is updated here. So the new value of R5 is now 9. Compare whether R5 is 0 or not. If 0 means you have done with the addition of all the integers. If not 0 means we have to continue the loop. So here after the first iteration r5 is not equal to 0, its value is 9. So therefore this is not true here. Here BNE means branch not equal. It's a conditional branch instruction. So the execution jumps to the label only if R5, in this case R5 is not equal to 0. So R5 is not equal to 0, so go to the loop. The loop here continues, loop continues. In the second iteration, R0 is 1, R1 is also 1, 1 plus 1, the new value of R0 is 2, that is the partial sum. Then again update the next integer. So R1 is 1 plus 1, so R1 is 2 now. The new value of R1 is 2. Okay. Then again decrement the counter. Subtract R5 by 1. So its new value of R5 is 8. Again compare R5 with the 0. If not 0, repeat the loop. Loop is repeated here continuously until R5 becomes 0. Once R5 becomes 0, this instruction is now executed, and it will not go to jump to the loop because the condition is false. The loop terminates and execution goes to the next instruction following BNE instruction. So at the end of this execution of this BNE, the result, that is the sum of first 10 integer, is stored in R5. Sorry, it is stored in R0. Here we are getting the address of R4 because you have to store the result in the name which is given for the memory location is result. We are just getting its value to R4, and now R4 acts as the address of the memory location. Store here R0, that is the sum of first 10 integer, into the memory location. Which memory location? The memory location pointed by R4. That is nothing but the result here. Okay. So we have stored the result in this memory location. BXXS. Here this is an unconditional branch instruction. So it will be executed here itself because BXXS is a loop, goes to the same instruction. So this particular instruction here, it is used to terminate the execution of the program, because in the memory what happens is there will be some more junk instructions will be present. The execution continues if you don't do this. If you write BXXS, then the execution will be running here itself instead of going to the next instruction. Then we have a data part here. In the data part, the name which is given here is data2. It's user given name. Data and read write are the attributes like code and read only. Here data indicates that next we have data part, and read write is indicating that this part is read write. It can be read and it can also be written. Initial value of result is 0x0. 0 is loaded into this result. After the computation of the result, that is the sum of first 10 integers, which is available in R0, so that is copied into this result. So at the end of the execution, the result is available in register R0, and it is also available in the memory location, namely result. Now let us see the execution of this program using Keil Mu Vision or Keil Micro Vision. So Keil Micro Vision application is already open here. you have to type the program here. What will I do is here I will, if at all a new project is open, then you have to close the project. Okay, close it. Then open a new Microvision project. I will give a name program 2. Program 2 is the name of the project. Save. Okay, save that in a folder. You have to create a folder in the desktop to save the project in that folder itself. Then you type LPC2148, that is the microcontroller, ARM microcontroller we are choosing. So we have written a code for LPC2148. Select that, click on OK, and here copy startup.s to project folder and add file to the project. Here you have to click no. Click no. Now you have created a project. Next step is to create a file, assembler file. Create a new file. You type your program here. I have already typed, it's available here. So I just copied that into here. Save it. Give a name. I'll give P2. P2 is the name which is given here. P2.asm. P2.asm. .asm should be the extension. I have saved that. Save it. After saving, you have to add that file to the target here. Click on this target. Click on source group 1. Right click on this. Right click on this. You have an option here called add existing file to group source group 1. Add the existing file which is already open. Add that. Which is that file? You have to browse here. Assembly code. Just choose assembly source code. What name you have given? We have given p2.asm. Select that, add. Okay, after adding, close it, so that you can see here our file is added to this. Okay, this is for adding the file to the project. Next we have to build target. Go to project. You have an option called build target. Click on this. Okay, target is built. You can see here no errors, 0 errors, 1 warning. You can also use this icon here. I have used this icon here. See, you can also click on this to build a target. Okay, I have now again clicked on this. Again now you can see here 0 error, 0 warning. Okay. Next we have to debug the code. Debug. Start debug. Okay. Debugging is completed, and in the left side you can see the contents of all the registers starting from R0 till R15, including CPSR and SPSR. Initially it is now 0. Their values are 0. The register values are updated once you run the program. I'll run the program. Okay. Debug. After running, stop it. First run, then stop. Okay. After stopping, you can see the contents of R0, R1, R4. Okay, all are updated. What is there in R0? Our result. As I was mentioned in my first slide, our result will be 00000037. Sum of first 10 integers is 37 in hexadecimal form. That is available in R0. R1 is a counter. Okay, its value is B. total loop runs for 11 times, because first time with 0 we are adding, so therefore it is 11, value is updated. And you can see R4 is a memory pointer. R4 holds the address, okay, address which is assigned to that result. So this is 40000000 is the address, okay. You can also see, as I mentioned in my previous slide, we can observe the result in two places. One in R0, that is available here, and one more in the memory location. Which memory location? This memory location. Okay. So we will see that memory location. Go to view. You, memory window. In that, select memory 1. I'll repeat. Go to view, memory location, memory window. In that, memory 1 window. Okay, memory 1 window, which is you can see here. It is there here. Memory 1 window. You can see here. Memory 1 window. We can just type the value, that is 4000. 4000. Type 4000. So here memory window, type 0x4000000, 4 followed by 7 zeros. This is the address of the memory location. You can see, press enter. You can see here memory window. Open that, memory 1. You can see here, this is the memory window, 4000000. So in 4, this is the memory location. You can see the contents here. The last byte, least significant, is stored first here. Next byte, next byte, next byte, all are 000 is stored in the reverse order. So 37 is the number. You can see here, this is the memory location. Contents. There are 4 bytes because the data is 32 bits. Data is 32 bits here. So it is stored in terms of 4 bytes. The least byte is 37. Okay. So this is a program executed. You can execute and see this program in your KVision. Thank you all.